And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
They've done it! They've done it! It's Maguire Crew! They've done it against this team!
Grimsby are heading back to the Football League.
Love it.
That's right, we're back, people. New theme tune, new video, same incredibly informal and uninitiated. But you know what? If I could start this again and it wasn't live, I'd do it. But hello, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. It is a new house here, so new that my background looks like a Zoom default background, and it is all held together currently by a personal hotspot. So if it sounds like I'm in Australia, you'll know why. And why me and Mike are continually to talk over us, because apparently there's a delay. Mike, how are you? There is a delay.
Living the dream, pal. How are you? How's the new 7-bed mansion in Surrey?
Yeah, absolutely. It's brilliant. Apart from not having any internet whatsoever, and it is being held together by an iPhone on 26% battery. So, you know, this could go either way.
Mate, what could possibly go wrong? What could possibly
go wrong? Welcome, everybody. It's so good to see you. Stephen, nice to see you. Sam, great to have you back. Love that shot of you. Hell of a goal. Daniel, great to have you back as well. And we have to thank everybody who donated and put together on the raffle. We will do it, as you can guess, so given me running around, and I had a little Farnborough Air Show to help run. It has been a bit manic over the last couple of weeks, but we will do the draw. And we've had some beautiful prizes sent in as well from other people, from viewers and from some companies as well. So you will not miss a trick. Don't worry. It's not, I'm not going to just do a runner after taking all your cash. It will be great to do. But as Bruce wanders in late. Hi, Bruce. You all right?
I'm good, mate. Thank you. How's things?
I'm all right. Now, I'm doing it on a personal hotspot, so there's a little bit of a delay, but I'm sure we'll be fine.
I am absolutely sweltering, mate. I've been over in Hull for the day, and I felt like I needed a shower before I came on, but I didn't have time.
Look at you! Spending the big bucks on the bridge.
Ferry, yeah. We've been on the ferry.
It's been on the ferry.
How are you both?
Yeah, good. Honestly, everyone, this is the first time we've all talked. We've generally taken a good month or so off to relax, but it doesn't feel like it was yesterday that we're all under the overcast skies. Actually, the neighbours don't know I'm a bit of a weirdo podcaster yet, so this could be fun because the door's open. Look, it's not been long since we were under those overcast skies in East London. Bruce, you've obviously had more chance to get, I guess, acclimatized to that and to really get the buzz, because me and Mike are almost trying to feed off of you. What's it been like in the town, and what's the general buzz been, and how have we looked? I guess is a good question.
The buzz has been good. It just felt like until we made that, was it double signing last week, there would just been a lull of sort of people were getting a bit desperate for a signing, weren't they? And there was a little bit of, even on social media, you would have seen it, you know, when are we going to sign somebody, and everything, you know, the club would post out that the grass had been cut, and the first tweet would be, oh, have we signed anyone, signed someone, and people were getting a little bit, but no, it's been good. It's been positive, obviously. It's just around the town. You're seeing the kids are playing. There's town shirts everywhere, and it's been good. As for seeing them, I haven't really. So I went to the Clee Town game, but if I'm honest, that's more of a social event than a football match. It's just a chance to catch up normally with your mates that you go with and your football friends and family, and. Yeah, I spent most of the first half sort of with my back to the goal, just sort of chatting to the lads with a pint until they stopped allowing you to take the beer through at half time. And yeah, so that's not really a very good gauge. But by all accounts, we played quite well against Lincoln. I know quite a few people that went, and we looked solid. And I think we do. I think the squad looks good. Still need a couple of sort of forward-thinking players, but yeah, it's good, mate. I'm ready for it to start again though now, because it did seem to go a little bit flat for a couple of weeks, but that was only natural after the absolute euphoria that we'd probably had for the month before that.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds brilliant. Sam has kindly given us the latest season ticket sales, 5,706. I guess the question is, Sam, does that include all the corporate ones that get added on at the end? Because if not, that is phenomenal. That is an incredible number anyway. And I'm starting to worry that I might need to get one just so I can get in. Where are they going to fit us all?
It'll be town fans in the away end at home, won't it? Yeah, we'll be sat. You'll have to sit quietly with the Colchester fans.
Yeah, absolutely. All 12 of them.
No, I think they're working on. I think Debbie alluded, didn't she, that they're working on trying to change the allocation in the Osmond and use the layout of the stand to sort of maybe extend the corner, I think, behind the goal or something a little bit across. So, but with it, where they can keep the segregation as they need. So, from people have been saying we might give a maximum allocation of 1,200 to everybody. I could be wrong with that, but that's the way that I'd interpreted it.
I'm going to try and do a Sky Sports thing, which is why I've changed the colour for a second. But it might.
I don't like change. I don't like change
either.
much.
Do you think they know that I've stolen their font yet? And if so, are we expecting a lawsuit in at any point? Look, I mean, how have you all been feeling about signings? I've been loving it. It's been generally quite impressive to see people coming through. Halifax seem to, have been, ripped apart by all and sundry, and us included. Mike, were you expecting the sort of signs we got? Niall Mayer seems a hell of a coup, and Paul Hurst seemed to be almost jumping for joy that we'd got Kieran Green in as well. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm never really surprised with Paul Hurst, especially with some of his signings. I must admit, with the Mayer one, I was sort of over the moon with that. And what really took me aback was just how quickly and early in pre-season that was done. You imagine that's a player that's very highly rated in the Team of the Year in the National League. On a free, you'd have thought he'd had a few clubs in for him, wait and see his options. But obviously, we're doing things the right way as a club now. And it means we can go in and get these players early doors and then have a more settled team. I mean, the Green one as well, that was for me, that's a highlight. I mean, if you take the last 3 games of the season with the playoffs out of the equation, I think you could quite easily say that Green was a far better player than Fox. So I honestly think, looking at our transfer business,
in a second, I promise.
I feel like I need a yellow tie.
I think. Is that Harry Redknapp over there? I think with our transfer business, I think you can make a car door. You can make a good argument that we've upgraded in every player we've lost or moved on.
It's been an interesting one, and one of the things that I've been really happy to see is Ben Fox aside, everybody that who's just ABC's just come in and said vote Lib Dem. Okay, look, it's what as I was saying, the thing that I really like to see is that the fact that apart from Ben Fox, we've kept everybody wanted to, and that was the big breakdown of 2016 success, is that we just didn't offer the right deals and the right opportunities for players that were coming through. And I don't know about you, Bruce and Mike, but I was slightly disappointed we didn't, with 5 subs in the offing, that we didn't keep Sousa or Max Wright, or one of them. But Paul Hurst's explanation came through and made perfect sense. He wanted to keep Sousa, one of those that was sort of on a cusp, but we couldn't offer him the first team football that he expected. And that's what I would have used Sousa as, a sort of an impact sub when with 70 minutes gone, you can't find the deadlock. And Max Wright, rumours aside of why he wasn't offered deals, but as we saw at Harrogate, he's incredible. But also, after 34 minutes, he also went off, I think, didn't he? Which is a bit heartbreaking to see.
Yeah, I think we touched on it in
There
the.
was no question there. I was just
No, I think you're right. I
Chatting.
mean, the Max Wright thing. I think we'd all said that. Sadly, you just couldn't give him a contract with his fitness record, and hopefully he does go somewhere else and gets himself fit and stays fit. But yeah, I think that, and Sousa, I think I think Paul Hurst must just think that he can get it similar or better, or maybe somebody that. I think we touched on his age before, didn't we? He's not a young player anymore, and is he going to develop now much further? You wouldn't think so, and I don't think he's got sorted out yet, has he?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I don't think he's got sorted yet. So, but hopefully he gets sorted. No. So yeah.
I hope so too.
Who's your which signing excites you the most, both of you, that's come in so far?
It's an interesting.
I really like Glennon. I really like Glennon just from what I remember seeing of him. It's difficult at this level because you don't see players every week. You don't know. You can read reviews about them, but you don't see them for yourself. But I just remember from Glennon playing for us, I would have never have thought he would be permanently at our level from what we saw when he was here under Holloway. I thought he had bags more potential. So I'm really excited about that. He's a very attacking fullback, and I think he could be a really good player, to be honest with you.
Alex?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Green, not just because he's got a wonderful surname, but he looked really tasty, really interesting. That challenge against the Lincoln game, that's going to make me love him already. I've basically taken up. If he can do a pout and step over, I'm getting his name tattooed on me, which is great because it's kind of useful if I ever get amnesia. But he's certainly the one that I'm looking forward to. I'm really sorry, guys. This is terribly delayed, isn't it? It's like I'm calling in from some sort of war zone. Just thanks, guys. Yep, all over. Yep, as you can hear the air raid sirens in the background. But yeah, Green, I'm really looking forward to him, and all reports suggest he is top notch.
I just thought you were giving really considered opinion, and you were just taking your time before you're answering.
When has he ever done that?
I might just keep it up. I tell you what, if you want your post-season to go by quickly, blame Scunthorpe United fans for their team being in a bit of mess. That keeps you entertained for a couple of days. But it's an interesting one because it just all feels really comfortable, doesn't it? And it's just lovely. It's just really nice. There's no panic. There's no statements being thrown out. It's all just, we've gone away. They've done a nice little trip. The pitch looks phenomenal already, and it seems to be improving. Everybody's saying good things. Everybody's smiling. We can focus on other issues. I saw the Bill Carr suite got announced last week, and that looks cracking. Is that where the old manager's office used to be? In the main stand?
I've never, in my 30 odd years of following town, I've never seen the inside of that room. I didn't even, it looked quite large as well. Apparently it's opposite the manager. I think the manager's office is upstairs in the main stand. And I think that's just across the corridor apparently, but I've never seen that room ever in a picture or anything.
No, I didn't know the main stand had that much space.
Isn't it the old Legends or bar? As you look at the main stand on the left-hand side, there used to be a bar there. I think is that the same one?
What, the nightclub? Yeah. Come on, yeah. So they've ripped out Mike Newell's stuff's gone now, and they've renamed it and toned it down a little bit.
Galley's just sat there in the corner.
Still, yeah, with his socks rolled down. But I'm not sure, mate. I think it's some sort of. It sounds like you've got to pay to go in there, doesn't it? It said that it's full for this season already, didn't it? So I'm guessing it's some sort of premium, that you pay like a vice presidents or whatever club. I don't know.
Osmond aside, is there anywhere that isn't full? Bruce, around you, have you noticed how many new season ticket holders you've got? I assume there's no place to hang your coat nowadays as there was back in the day. I
don't know. I haven't looked since the unpurchased. Sorry, that's not a word, is it? Since the renewal on, the ones that hadn't renewed became available, but there was one seat in the lower, I think, available before that. I don't know what it is now, But yeah, you're not going to be able to. That bring a friend game is going to be fun. I'm assuming that your friend can come, but you can't that day or something. But yeah, it's full. I mean,
Lend
but
your
to be
seat
fair,
out. Maybe you can get one of those. Sorry, mate. Maybe we can just get one of those Northern Line trains. Just Northern trains to sit on the side behind the main stand, and we can sit in there. It was worth the breaking and interrupting you, wasn't it?
Anyway, you're okay, mate. But we've noticed it filling up down there. I think there's only something like 700 or 800 seats in the Osmond, in the lower anyway, isn't there? But it's been getting busier the last few years that we've been down there in that end, 2 or 3 seasons now, maybe 3, and it's been getting busier and busier. But obviously, it's just full now. It's as simple as that. There's no spaces, so it's going to be. The bars are going to be busy again, and the fan zone's going to be doing a roaring trade. Well, that's been a game changer, because the lower bar at half time previously was just barely worth bothering if you didn't get in for 20 minutes before the half time. But with the fan zone taking the load off that, most games you can go in there at half time. It's okay because you can get a quick pint now.
It just shows, really. And I know we've banged on about it before, but I'm going to again. Look, if you just do things right and invest in the right places and build it, they will come. And it just shows you the absolute shit we were told for years about the fans aren't there. There isn't the need for it. Just do things right, build a club properly, and this is what happens. And it's great to see.
I think it's like the perfect storm, isn't it? We've all been allowed back out after COVID. The club's in new hands, that the fans can see what they're trying to do, and we've had pretty much instant success on the pitch. It's 3,300 season tickets at this level, or our level, or even League Two, is good season ticket sales. But to chuck another 5,000, 2,500 on top of that is mental, isn't it? It's anyone that works in any sort of business, that's just, percentage-wise, is ridiculous for an improvement in one season.
It's completely insane.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's too successful. It's working too well. I'm nervous already. It's wonderful to see, and I hope it's it'd be interesting to see the makeup of the people that are coming back. Whether it's just people who are returning after Voldemort left, or whether it's people who have just been floating fans, come every now and then and have gone, look, we'll just get a season ticket and we can share it between the family, or we'll start going more. Or if it's new people, it'd be lovely to see. I'm sure as the club have got a half decent CRM system now, it will be easy. It'll be interesting to see if they've got that information and what they do with it, because I don't know about you, Bruce, but it doesn't feel like there's many new fans that have come along. It's just people who have, I'd come along 2-3 games a season, but now I'm back in it and I'm invested and I've got something to connect to. I don't know about you, because you're up there a bit more and with a bit more of a circle.
I think, without sort of saying the complete opposite, that there are.
Go ahead.
Obviously, you won't see it, predominantly travelling away, but at home, there's a lot. I've banged on about it before. There's a lot of families now, and I was chatting to a lad at Maisie's football training yesterday that his daughter started going last season, only last season, so it would class as your new fans. And now his other daughter wants to go, and because of the sales that they've seen, they've bought season tickets. So that's 3 new fans in the last 12 months. But I'm like you. I am interested to see. Last season, we were averaging, what was it, 5.5, 5.6 or 5.7 or something like that. It'll be interesting to see how many of those have just turned to season ticket holders, or will we be getting 7,000 every week? Because a few times last year we were told it was it was a home sellout, but the numbers didn't really add up, did they? And there was still a lot of empty seats in the ground. So, are we going to get averages of 7,000? Not averages, but are we going to get 7,000 regularly? I'll be interested to see.
What I think will be interesting, I hope the club are looking at this, is it'd be really good to see how many of these new season tickets are new children's season tickets, because you know, with all the feel-good factor around the club, it's really important to try and capitalise on that and try and get those fans of the future. So, I mean, hopefully a lot of these new season tickets are new kids buying kids season tickets. I know it's not as much money, but it's an invaluable resource if you can get these kids early and get them into town.
Be a drug dealer, get them in free, and then get them hooked. Then jack up the price. It's the way of the world. And Ollie Hodson says, sort of echoes your feelings, Mike. Really, he said, I think a lot of kids have wanted to come after the cheaper days in the Osman and got the bug, and that's brilliant if that's the case. Chris Smith has asked an actual question. How many players would you say we need now and then, and what positions? Will Smith make a return? I think Smith has been offered it. It'll be interesting to know exactly how much, how if he would like to come, because there is a lot of stiff competition there now in Waterfall and Mayor, and whether or not he'd want to. I think we need a keeper. I think we need 2 wingers because of the 5 substitutes, and I think we need a striker. But I think everybody's looking for a striker, and we went into the season last year, needed a striker, and it turned out all right. So if we don't get one, it's not the end of the world. What about you, Bruce?
Pretty similar to you, really. Have you seen the deleted Owen Windsor tweet today? Who tweeted something? Yeah, Owen Windsor's tweeted today, and then deleted it. A tweet saying something to the effect of "back soon" or something, of him laid on the floor in a town kit. And then deleted the tweet soon after. So has he maybe got carried away and given something away? That go on, Mike. Sorry.
He said on Twitter later it was nothing to do with it. It was just him in a town top. I think he said because he's been released. You see, so I think he means he's back to football soon. Just so happened he was wearing a town top.
Oh, okay. So yeah, but the Smith thing seems like you say. People are saying that he might be coming back. Which, like you say, would leave us with, 3, 4. Pearson never lets you down, does he? And then the other 3 speak for themselves. It would probably give him the option of playing 3 centre backs if he wanted it. I would, because he doesn't, for whatever reason, he doesn't seem to think that Pearson is a first choice centre back, and he didn't seem to think that at the end of his last spell when we got promoted. And he's chosen others ahead of him now, so I can't see that changing with the players we've got in. He's just a very reliable, and that sounds really disrespectful, but he's just a very reliable player and an excellent person to have around the club and the squad. But so that would give you that, and we've certainly got the players, haven't we, to play with wing backs, and he likes the ability to change shape, doesn't he? So I could see him wanting a 4th centre back now that we've got rid of Long King. So yeah, and I think, like you say, I think at least 1 wide player and maybe a pacey option up front. I see Windsor, just going back to Windsor, I mean, I did look at his stats after I saw that, and he scored 1 goal in 10 against us, which, if I remember rightly, was it was when we were behind closed doors in the chaos of Holloway, wasn't it? I think he scored a really good goal at Leyton Orient.
I thought it was at Cheltenham.
Was it Cheltenham? Sorry, it was a team in red then, red and white. Right. Yeah, it was Cheltenham. You're right. Sorry, yeah, but he scored a really good goal anyway. But I thought he had something about him. But anyway, like by the sound of it, he's cleared that up, Mike, or he's tried to throw a smoke screen out because he has cocked up.
Oh no, I've gone.
No, you're not. You're still there.
No, you're all right. You're still in the room when you're moving. Oh, well, you can't hear us, Mike, can he? But
I'll tell you what. I'll see if he comes back. I'll tell you what I think. So
hello.
I think. Hello.
God.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Well, I'm back from reporting.
Did that plant come with the house?
No, this is a Zoom background now.
Is it?
No, we got that from IKEA because that's the only things you do down here for design. So it just looks so generic, doesn't it? I could be anywhere in the world.
Where's your town memorabilia? Is it not up yet?
It's not up yet. I've got to find a room. Me and Leanne are fighting over the spare room at the moment. We'll see. It'll come down to I don't know, a fight to the death about who gets the spare room.
So what is it? Is it a case of either if you get it, then it turns into your den or your man cave, and if she gets it, family can still come and visit.
Yeah, basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
you talk to us more than the family, mate. It's a man cave.
My mum and dad listen to this just so they get to see how I'm doing.
Mate, what
Yeah,
you
you're not eating enough, son.
You've got like 8 spare bedrooms. What are you on about?
I'll tell you something. Charlie's room, the little lad's room, I'm massively jealous of. It's a townhouse, so he's got like the second floor, and he's got like a massive storeroom as well. I've never seen anything like it. It's ridiculous.
Don't go to your room. Go to your floor.
Yeah, you go to your floor. Yeah. God, I'm tempted to put like a little doorbell up there if I ever need him, because I'm not shouting up 2 flights of stairs.
You've
Anyway.
changed.
I know. I'm sorry. Did I tell you? I was Boris Johnson's bouncer on Monday for a moment or two, which was quite interesting.
If you're not going to finish, you're not going to finish this pod tonight with Hasta La Vista, are you?
Yeah, Hasta La Vista. Well, no, I've now got a ministerial role for a week. Yeah. What were you going to say, Mike? I'm sure it was massively interesting, but my internet decided it wasn't.
Mate, I would highly doubt that. All I was going to do is pick up on what Bruce was saying about what I think we need. I think we obviously need a goalkeeper, whether that's a loan or a younger out of contract player. I think the Andy Smith thing, I think that's happening from everything you hear. So I think we'll have those 4 centre backs. I then think he probably wants another centre midfielder and another winger, but I don't know if they'll be contracted players sort of thing. I think maybe some room now in the squad for some players from higher up on loan. Some younger lads to try and blend in there, and then obviously he needs the striker that we've been after for a year and a bit. So I think with Smith, I think maybe 4 more.
Yeah. Do you guys think we need a keeper as well? I think Ollie Battersby needs some time out on loan now.
He wants to send him, doesn't he?
I think we discussed this previously, didn't we? And I think we all agreed that Battersby, there's no point in him getting splinters in his arse. He might as well be playing the role of a second keeper these days. Although it'll be on the bench, they're only going to play, in the Tim Pot Trophy. I'd very much doubt that because of the money that it could generate, that Hurst will play a second keeper in the Carabao Cup. So you would think it's not going to be many games, is it? The reserves and stuff. It's a difficult one, isn't it? How much of your budget do you throw at somebody that's maybe going to play 4 or 5 games a season? And you've always got the loan market with keepers, haven't you? Which we've used before when someone's got suspended or injured. I know the window shuts, but I don't. Go on, sorry.
Does Stevie not want to play? Is that not why we've got him back in?
He's not allowed to play under the terms of his severance. If you remember, not his severance, but his insurance payout. He's not allowed to play in the football league, is he?
So we got him a year too late.
It's done. Yeah, it's done that.
But if we'd have had him last year, would he have been able to have played then?
I don't know. I mean, it's almost. He might be able to play. He might be able to play in the Paint Trophy, mightn't he? Because it's shit and it doesn't really count for anything. But yeah, I think we need a keeper. But like I say, are we desperate for it? If Hurst thinks that Battersby can challenge, is a viable replacement, then maybe we don't. I mean, he's getting to that age now, isn't he? 21 now, I think, or 21, I think, 20, something like that. It's his birthday yesterday, wasn't it? He's
Pearson.
Yeah, Shawnee P.
I think if you're sending Battersby out on loan, and I think you need to, if he's not going to play games, he needs to go out and get some games. You're going to want somebody in and around the squad, because otherwise you just got Crocombe and Crowdson training. So I think you go for a younger keeper from a team higher up on loan. It's not going to cost you anything. You've got a bit of, if Crocombe does a calf on a Friday or something, then you've got somebody there. You're not having to ring round and try and find somebody to come down. So I don't think we're at the stage that we used to be, where we're worrying about cost cutting in these sorts of areas. If we need a keeper in, I think we'll probably get one.
Dean Henderson.
Yeah, he's not got much to do. Where do you think this is a horrible question to ask, I guess, given the positivity, but where do you think we're weakest? Where do you think we need to impress and to improve?
I think yeah. Well, we need a striker, but I also think we need one of the central midfielders to chip in with more goals than they do. I know Clifton got sort of 6 or 7 last year, but he probably should have, by his own admission, would probably admit he should have had probably double that. I'd like to see a central midfielder that gets in the box and gets on the end of things and scores maybe double figures a season.
Some people are saying Jack Diamond from Sunderland.
I
Others
would
are
be
saying
amazed.
Rory Watson from Scunny. The only one I want from Scunny is Gallimore, just because it sounds so unnatural to have a Gallimore on a Scunthorpe United. That poor lad doesn't need that. He doesn't need that sort of mental anguish. Luke Walsh wanted to know if we finished raiding him. Luke supports Halifax. Luke, is there anyone else we can have? I know it's not you, but we keep getting linked to Sabara, or is that might just be wishful thinking from many? But if there's anyone else decent at Halifax, we'll have them. No problem whatsoever. If they want to come along,
There's no one
Kit lady, if she can wash well, and and we can.
Can we have your big terrace stand?
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be
Yeah,
good.
that fella that's gone on Love Island.
I'd love to, actually, Luke. I'd love to get you on to talk about that, because he scored like 1 goal in 24, I think, which is brilliant. He went on and says, "I always score." He's like, "I've seen your record on Wikipedia, mate. That doesn't suggest that's right."
And didn't he say it's a line of sort of that he wants to pursue at the moment, or something like that? And they've basically said it's like when your missus rings you when you're on a night out, and she's just sort of they've just said, "We'll talk about this when you get back."
In the morning, yeah.
That's what they've said, isn't it? They haven't said that he's sacked or anything like that. It's like it'll be discussed when he returns.
So
I'm waiting for it to come up on Football Manager. He's unavailable for 6 weeks because he's flown off.
Anyone who doesn't know, so Jamie Allen from Halifax Town has left to go to Love Island for a bit. It is quite funny. Richard Young says Dan Gallimore was stood behind me at the Cleetown game with his mates. Early signs are his dad taught him well. Oh dear.
Are you sure stud's the right word then?
Yeah, lolloped is probably the best word to describe it. Apparently Luke follows him on Instagram. Jamie Allen. So Running Fred says Kit Lady sexist. I mean, they're not wearing smaller shorts as Sepp Blatter would suggest.
I was just trying to. We've currently got a Kit Man, and I was just trying to even it up with Kit Lady, so you can
exactly.
You can side that opinion.
And men. It's just wonderful to get back into it. Leighton Orient coming up. The Orient lads would happily come on and do a preview stuff, but I asked them with about half an hour to go, so spare their blushes. It wasn't them that didn't say no. It's like, mate, I'm in the bath. But have we sold all our tickets yet?
No,
because that was the big worry for everyone. Tom got me one. Thank you, Tom.
Apparently we haven't, but it's been very quiet.
Start your engines, and women.
Bruce will crucify me as he usually does when there's the London game and I don't go. I've been reliably informed that Saturday's my wedding anniversary, so I'm not going.
That's shit. You have one of them every year.
This point was made.
You've been at home You've been at home with her all summer. I missed Maisie's birthday the other year for a corporate day at the cricket because I don't get many corporate days.
Didn't miss a wedding though, did you?
No, I didn't miss a wedding. No, but I can't believe if it's down on your doorstep, and that you must be well hacked off. Are you still going to be married by the weekend,
mate? When we're finished, I'll tell you all about it.
There's been high level discussions, have there?
When we're finished,
no, it's actually my lad's birthday on Sunday as well, so it's a bit
Oh, we won't keep you overnight.
Yeah,
you can have a skinful Saturday, and you'll be at home Saturday night. We might just come and kidnap you.
Right? Could everybody just tweet my wife, say let Mikey go, please? That'd be great.
What if she won't let you go to Sutton?
Why didn't she go to Stratford? She can go to Stratford.
Westfield, is it Westfield Shopping Centre? I think it is.
Jesus Christ.
You could give her some money to go shopping, and
I'm a Yorkshireman. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, but you get something out of it as well, don't you?
Stratford, take her to Stratford.
What you could do, take her to Stratford. There's loads of nice
Well, that
restaurants.
must mean you've got a decent credit score, so get a credit card sorted.
Yeah, but if you book a table at like
your credit score must be in the 800s.
book a table, Mike, at 2 to 3 at Stratford, and then just excuse yourself to go to the loo, and then come back, a little bit later, and just tell her you've got a deli belly.
There's the biryani, got you. Try it.
You're going straight out the back door, Brisbane Road, watch the game. You come back looking a bit peaky. Your job's a good one. She feels sorry for you when you go home.
I'll try it and I'll let you know how I get on, mate.
I'll see you. We'll save you a seat next to us.
And then why don't you just take her out for the theatre afterwards? That'd be great. There you go, sorted.
He doesn't look sure, does he?
I assure you, I've tried all these things, mate.
I think what the club should start doing is they should start doing a in memoriam for both men and women who have had to forego a game at town because they've got a wedding anniversary or whatever. Could you imagine that every game, just before the teams come out, just one of those somber music, as sort of a picture of Bruce comes up in black and white.
You had to go to a wedding
anniversary, yeah.
Yeah. I did.
Ollie Hodgson says a crash for partners. That's a pub.
No, it could be. I was going to say something else, but that would be sexist. So no, we won't do that. I think. Yeah, there's something in that. It would have to be. Don't you find that people pick up on absolutely everything these days? Everything you say, somebody takes the wrong way. I don't know. Anyway. So whereabouts do we think that we're going to finish this season? Then I was hoping we'd get more of us on for the first one, so people can sort of capture it. And when Tom said that we'd run away, we'd have the title won by Valentine's Day at Gillingham. But where do you think we'll finish?
What we will do is, I want everybody. I'll put it in our WhatsApp group, but I'll also, the fans who are listening in, I want you to email us. It is dn35podcast@gmail.com. I want you to email your predictions in, where town will finish, who will be our top goal scorer, who will be our player of the season, who will be our most undervalued player of the season, and then I don't know, some funny shit that you think will happen throughout the season, and we'll get them all in. How many goals town will score? I'll put it up on Twitter, and then you can send them in, and we can all laugh at how stupid we all are. And that's what I think we will do, and that will fill some content at the end of the season. I think we will finish anywhere higher than 14th. I will be delighted, because that will be our highest finish since 2006.
I think Mike, we'll have a little outside flirt with the playoffs, and then finish something like 10th, 11th. I think.
I was going to say 8th or 9th.
Are you guys surprised? I've been looking at some of the things, and I know I don't. Someone said expert podcast. I don't know who tweeted it earlier. They say quite a few have got us struggling. So 442 have got us finishing 18th. When Saturday comes, has us finishing 16th, 17th. Are you surprised by all that, or are you? It's because all the signings we're bringing in suggests we've got a decent team.
Do you remember when we used to have Ludwig Oman at 50-1 every game?
I loved that
because the bookies didn't do any homework and they were lazy, and they just saw this player and they didn't even really know. And for a while, we played Jason Crowe going back a bit further in midfield, and he would quite often score, and he was a defender, but they never bothered watching. I think that's why it's easy to say Stockport have come up. They've spent loads of money. They're going to do all right. Grimsby have come up. They finished 6th last season. They'll struggle. I think it's as simple as that. They've not done any homework.
Yeah, I mean, being involved in this, I mean, I could tell you a few little things from teams in the league, but I don't know. So I wouldn't be comfortable making many predictions other than looking at what happened last season and thinking, yeah, probably going to happen again. But yeah, it's just people not really looking at it, looking at signings, and just looking at what happened last season and making a decision based on that.
Ollie Hodgson is sticking his head above the parapet. He said, if you look at the stats, though, we finished low in the league and just had 3 crazy games to the neutrals. That's a fair opinion. But do you think there's more to that, Bruce? Bruce is already in, keen, eager.
We did have 3 games, but didn't we have a really good run leading up to that after the crap run in the middle of the season? Weren't we? When we lose something like 2, didn't we lose something like 2 in 20 or something? So I think without that blip, I mean it's obvious, but without that blip that I think was caused by predominantly off the field antics, then I think we would have finished a lot higher than we actually did, and I think our end of season form was better than 6th.
Do you think there's just a general concern? There's just a general worry of where the goals comes from. McAtee is an interesting one, and I think he might be undervalued by others. And I undervalued him as well because I remember saying I think he was a streaky player, but he'd had that injury. He started pretty well, and then he had that injury, and then that included then an immediate 3-game suspension. You're expecting him to get to 15, 20 goals this season, aren't we? If all being well. Him being injured after 5 minutes in the first game.
I think that his contract situation concerns me. I think that we'll have to, if he does anything like decent, I think we'll have to do what we did with Bogle if he's not going to sign the contract and probably cash in on him at Christmas or in the transfer window. Because otherwise we're going to lose. He'll be 24 next summer. So I think I'm right in saying we'll lose him for free, unless it's when his contract runs out. I don't know how it works. I don't know how that works because it's 23, isn't it? That you get compensation.
I think so. Yeah, Tom will be able to tell us.
So I don't know. Like I say, with the technicality of his birthday being in the closed season, technically, I don't know whether it's when his contract runs out or whether it's when he signs his next contract. But his contract situation and the fact that Paul Hurst didn't make it sound when Matt Dean asked him about it, like there had been a lot of progress despite the fact that it had been discussed last year. I'd like to see us offer him a really good contract and but with a gentleman's agreement or something in it that if we get offers over a certain amount or something like that, that we would tell him, we'd make him aware of all offers perhaps. But I suppose why does he need to do that if he's not sure what he wants to do? Maybe just bide his time and see out his contract, and in the summer he can still stay with us, or he can go on elsewhere if there's another option.
I think sometimes it's key to remember he's had one good season and he's still a young lad. Whilst I'm not that happy about his contract situation, I think if he picks up an injury towards the end of the year and has a bad season, he could be in the non-league again. So, I mean, whilst I agree with you, Bruce, I also think there's probably some pressure on the other end as, do I get myself sorted? And then if somebody comes in for me, then great. But if they don't, and I have a bad injury or don't have a great season, I'm still a professional footballer.
Almost like Liam Hearn.
Yeah.
It just doesn't sound like, I say, like we've made a lot of progress on that front, though, does it? From what Hurst has said.
But then that's Hurst. I remember him last season saying we're not making any signings for a couple of weeks, and then a couple of hours later we signed left back. He likes to play his mind game, so it wouldn't surprise me if he signed it.
Well, speaking of the mind games, somebody just asked a question, didn't they, about his shoulder operation? I think it's quite. I think Hurst was asked about that, wasn't he? And I think we joked at the season's end that he looked all right carrying Maguire Drew on his back, didn't he? Celebrating at West Ham. So I think that just turned out to either be Hurst's mind games or it wasn't quite as serious as they first thought.
You need that little Paul Hurst gift that always pops up with things like that, don't you?
The one at the training ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it like a bit of a wink?
Yeah, what happened to his shoulder?
Yeah.
It's what are we? So if we're concerned about strikers, we're concerned about because obviously Matty Taylor's injured now as well. Paul Hurst has said he's looking for a big old guy up front, and I was always thought he might be going for it. Is it John Umara at Kings Lynn? Is that right? Big guy at Kings Lynn.
I'm not sure. I've seen us linked with him, but I think that started with Paul Hurst chatting to him after the game, didn't he? On the
probably,
pitch
yeah.
At Kings Lynn. I think that's where that one. That's where that one started.
Good game, mate, and that was it. And then he was a town player ever since.
I do think Paul Hurst teams, though, we saw this last season and we've seen it before. I think they score goals all over the park. So I'm not too concerned with the amount of goals. I'm more concerned with a focal point that you can always bank on getting you one. I think we'll just spread them around the team. I think as well with Glennon and Afete, if you're playing those both at fullbacks, I think you're incredibly attacking. I think you'll score enough goals. It's just if Taylor gets injured and Horsey has a bad game, then you've got no one else.
No, I think we looked to a different side with Ryan Taylor up front. The other lads came in. Manny and Abrahams came in. Abrahams maybe wasn't that kind of player anyway, but Manny came in and did okay, didn't he? But he seemed more effective as an impact player than he did as a, and he did.
And what an impact!
I was just going to say, and he did a wonderful job for us. And that'll never be. He'll never be forgotten here, despite only being here for a few months.
He's going to be in the same sort of bracket as Steve Cabber and Luke Cornwall, isn't he? As sort of those things. Ross Parker says, every season we say we lack strikers under Paul Hurst. Every season we have a little gem appear from midfield to strikers. Trust the process. I hope you're right, Ross. Absolutely. It's just it's got too many last season compared to others, but it'll be nice to support it. If we got a wish list, that's what we'd be going for. But Hurst has also said that he's the location's a struggle. Some people don't want to just come here, which is a shame. But the setup at least suggests that we're going in the right direction. And Tenerife, who would have thunk it? Sure, those out there are having a lovely time. Someone suggested up at the top, who was the idea to send everyone to Tenerife on McAtee's birthday, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, it was a good.
Go on then.
Idea,
Go on, Mike. What were you going to say?
Yeah, just one point that I sort of remembered about Horsey is, if you take out last season and the season before last, he was in the same league as Tishmanga and he scored more goals. So, I mean, let's not just think we don't already have a proven goal scorer here already. One season doesn't make a great player. One season doesn't make a bad player. So I'm really keen to see if that was a one-off or if he can rediscover that a little bit. Because don't forget, Tishmanga went for £250,000, having scored less goals.
There are some interesting players in the squad, who have got. There are two or three that you think they're either going to be, one of the two or three could be a really, really good player. The ones that he signed, a little bit like Horsey, and the lad from Sunderland, Wern, was it? There's a plus. There's two or three that one of them just might. And I like the way that Hurst sometimes thinks that he can get a tune out of a player that, a bit like McAtee, that's not quite done it somewhere else and has sort of maybe slipped, not quite fulfilled their potential for one reason or another. And he likes to bring them in and give them a chance to prove themselves again.
You're right though, Mike. Didn't he score the same amount as Tishmanga?
I think he scored more if you take penalties off. It was definitely about the same within one or two, and I think the penalties gave it to Horsey.
There we go.
And you remember last season, everybody's saying we should have been breaking the bank for Tishmanga. We've signed somebody who scored the same amount of goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Mike.
It's really interesting. And let's talk about, firstly, new kit. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Bruce, what's the sizing like? Are you going to have to put a few more steps in every day to fit into an extra large, or is it all right?
I've not tried one for myself. I don't generally buy a kit, but Maisie's got hers. There's no numbers available yet because we couldn't.
It's a triple XL.
We didn't know we were going to be in the league, so we had to order our numbers late. Apparently, I think. So we've still not. Nobody's got names and numbers on the shirts yet. I like the. Go on, sorry.
Can't we just use Scunnies?
Yeah, swap. Oh, they're probably purple though, aren't they, or something? Some shit bloody colour. No, we've. Yeah, so it'd be good when we get that. I like the blue kit. Maisie's not so keen, and interested to see what the third kit looks like. But apparently that's not available for another sort of 3 weeks or so. When I went in the shop the other week, I think Moira said it was going to be about a month. But when you look around, there's lots of clubs having problems with kit supply, aren't there? They've got some shorts and socks in now, I believe. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. And everyone wants one of those green training tops, don't they? If we could get one of those to raffle off, that would raise a fortune for some good cause.
Sam, steal one when you're next at the training ground.
Looking at the sizes, Alex, I don't think me and you are wearing one, mate.
Oh, I don't know. After 2 days, after moving house and walking 60 odd miles or whatever
He's got 3 floors to climb up, three sets of
And,
stairs now, or 2
show,
sets of
I
stairs.
might be able to fit into it now. I just
Getting
need
that-
8XL.
Get in that pool in the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, you're getting the pool in the back. I've got to wait for the pool cleaners to come along.
I reckon he's actually squatting at
it's,
Checkers. He's he had Checkers. He's going to be
I mean,
vacated, and the door was
certainly
open.
someone squatting at Checkers, and it ain't me. Political.
That'd be good for a pod, for a pod, wouldn't it? Well, can you see if you can swing that before one of the London games? We'll arrange it when Mike can come.
Yeah, you're his best mate now.
We
You
can-
use his
we can
bodyguard.
set-
You can have a word.
We can certainly probably do it from the balcony of Farnborough Air Show if you want to. That it's in a bit of disarray now, but we could do it. But it's probably best for this weather instead of February.
Is Rishi going to look out? Is Rishi going to look okay in a town hat?
Oh well, that's the thing. You're gonna have to ask old Leah, won't you? What will she do now? Oh, it's like she's thrown all her eggs into one basket with the cool kids, and now he's been suspended. Who's she going to hang around with?
Are you watching the viewer count go down there, Alex? Now we've drifted into that.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
sorry.
Anyway, yeah, back to the grass looks good, doesn't it? Track to watch.
Yeah, grass looks great. Ollie Hodson says if Krause can fit his arm in, then you should be fine. That's very true. I mean, I assume with Krause, it's a makeshift sling as well, just in case it pops out. What were you going to say, Mike?
One thing that just talking about the kits reminded me of, I'm just thinking back to the picture that came out in the week, and just look at the picture, and that again just demonstrates what's happening at our club. There's 10 backroom staff, right? So the amount of investment, not just on the playing side and on the stadium and infrastructure, the amount of investment for Paul Hurst to be able to get the absolute best out of his team is incredible. I mean, can you remember when we had more than 4 backroom staff ever? Usually, we've got 6 more.
I don't think it's ever happened.
Yeah,
I think it's
I don't
certainly
think it's ever happened, does it?
It'd be interesting to know whether, because if you remember, under the previous regime, he used to get all his money in like one pot, didn't he? And he basically had to divvy it up between his staff and his. I wonder if it's still the same, or whether he gets whether the staff fall under a different budget now. That would be interesting to know.
I'd imagine.
If you want a little, have I said before? So you used to get the money for the youth team, didn't you? Sam Russell used to get paid out of that because he would also count as a coach as well.
I was going to say the
and
same
it would
about
go on
Coke,
other things.
probably. Coke with his under 23 role, probably a lot of that's probably the youth team budget, I'd have thought.
I was pleased to see him come back. He's another person that looks like a good character and is well respected around. There you go, Nathan. Yeah, yeah. I think it's great to see him come back, and the fact that he wanted to come and work here, and he obviously thought that working with the people that are here would be a good start on his pathway in his coaching career. And I thought that him and Sean Pearson, considering they didn't play much in the games at the end of the season, just the reaction that they gave must have, even the young lads that weren't getting regular games must have been like, you don't get many promotions in your career, even though you're not quite starting like you would want to. Just enjoy it and take it all in, because it's a brilliant thing to be around. I mean, Sean Pearson up off the bench, and getting having words with the referee, having words with him, and he's got a career. He's got a future career in coaching or managing, hasn't he? For sure, because he's just.
Are you saying we need another one? You're saying we need another shirt, another green shirt for the backroom staff for next season?
I think he's definitely going to be staying. He's going to go into coaching, isn't he, Pearson? You can see it. He's just and he's going to be entertainment on the touchline as well.
It's quite clear what they're doing. I mean, the whole concept with the under 23 sort of floating coach who can still play a bit. You see a lot of that higher up. So that's just really good to see it at our level. And I think if you think back about Coke when he signed January, not last, the one before.
Are we keeping you up, Bruce?
Sorry, mate. I was out. I was out last night it was Maisie's football parents, and I burnt the candle a bit too long at the other end, and I do apologise.
No.
I do
That's
keep
all right.
muting, but I keep muting. Maybe I should just do this when I'm yawning.
Let's put some. I don't know.
That's
Let's
much
put
better.
some lullaby music on or something in the background.
No,
for you.
don't do
See,
that.
now,
Don't do that. Yeah, it sounds like you bring my coffin in.
It does. This was called Daydreaming. It's just the things they put on here.
You've taken me back to my nana's funeral.
You know, if they
Sorry.
bring your coffin in, Bruce, they're going to put that Ali picture on the top at the funeral.
When is the raffle? I've still got this bloody picture at my house.
I've been wondering for weeks, mate. It's been killing me not to ask you if you still got it.
What? No, but it's still here. Where? I thought we'd done a
Is
raffle.
Is everybody happy for us to just continue this to go along, just so Bruce has to keep holding on to that just for a little while longer? We'll do it next week. No, here's what we'll do. In celebration of me getting broadband, we'll do it that night. So we'll see you all in November.
I've got another copy. Of. Oh, Ivano nearly fell off. Then, I've got another copy of.
Not again.
Yeah, I've got another
The
copy
swap
of.
shop again.
Got another copy of.
One
No,
moment, please. Bruce is just.
Have I mentioned that
Oh,
already?
I've got that somewhere. Yeah, that's a cracking book. That.
Anyway, it's going into the prize pot because I've got 2 copies of this now. Somebody kindly donated some more stuff, and I've got 2 of these, so that's going in the
There
prize
we go.
pot with the kickoff magazines.
You
Sorry,
lucky
I
devils.
just thought I'd share that with you.
No, that's brilliant. That's cracking. I don't have anything else. Someone has sent me a couple of wonderful things, and we've had a couple of donations as well. So they'll go into the prize pot. I do feel a little bit Father Ted at the moment, though, saying the money's just resting in our account. But we'll get it all sorted.
Especially when you've just got a new house.
Yeah. Thanks very much, everybody. The house the pod built.
There's your pod title for tonight.
Yeah, exactly. It's where's it gone? I haven't seen Alex. It's just I'll be like the bloke who lived in the canoe and ended up in Guatemala or wherever it was.
I watched that actually. That was I would say interesting, but I knew how it finished. I don't know where I've been. That was what I was going to do, wasn't it? At West Ham. I don't know where I've been for the last week. I don't know who I am. I don't know how I got here, but I didn't. I bottled it.
That's how I felt afterwards. Is there anything of concern? Is there anything we should be worried about? Is everything rosy? Is everything uplit Sunlands? It feels so calm, so serene, so much so that you kind of take your. I don't know about you guys, but I took my eye off the ball for a bit. I was like, well, yeah, it's fine. It's like somehow I used to need to keep an eye on everything before it would get set on fire. I don't know how you guys feel. It's so serene.
My only concern is are we as solid as we think we are? I don't mean solid as in like defensively solid, but we think the club's on a crest of a wave. Are we going to, how are we actually going to fare in League Two? We all think we'll do all right, upper mid table. But so I'll be really interested. The first 2 or 3 games, at least Fox seems like he's injured, and I don't mean that in a nasty way. So he's not going to score a 25-yarder in front of the pontoon on the second game. He looks like he's going to miss a few weeks. So yeah, I'm just a little bit nervous about where we are after 3 or 4 games, and then that'll settle me then when I know what the opposition's like.
The only thing I'm sort of worried about is we've obviously had a bit of a worse pre-season than everybody else with the late finish and players being off for a couple of weeks before they signed for us, and Paul Hurst has said in interviews they're not where they should be. So I'm just a bit concerned if we don't hit the ground running the first 2 or 3 games, whether the sort of the feel good factor turns around. I don't expect us to hit the ground running, start smashing people, but I think we'll have a good solid season. I'm just a bit concerned about those first couple of games fitness wise.
It'll be interesting. The feel good factor thing's an interesting one because let's be honest, we lost it at Christmas. We lost that feel good factor, and it was a bit chaotic, and people were calling for Hurst, and we were discussing it on here as well. So it's not. I don't think that's necessarily a problem because we just get it back. It's run so well that we'll just get that feel good factor back. But you can worry sometimes if we're 14th after a couple of weeks because we've got a tough start. So we're 14th after 3-4 weeks in, and people are starting to grumble, and though we've got 6,000 season ticket holders, only 4,000 turn up or something like that. That's the only issue I can see coming up, but I don't think it will. I genuinely think we'll do all right. Who are you worried about? Anyone? Bradford again seem to be doing the Bradford thing and buying everybody. Crawley have made 3 million on NFTs by saying you can't buy their third kit unless you buy this particular image. Stephen is, you've got Steve Evans. I don't know what everybody else is doing, but Walsall are apparently got loads of money. I don't know how that's happened. But is there anyone that's caught your eye who you think will be sort of, because I don't know who the standout basket case club is this season. There's usually one or two sort of up and at him. What are your guys' thoughts?
Well, we usually know 50% of it because it used to be us.
Yeah, that's true.
I've not really paid much attention. I've had a quick skim. I think you look at Bradford, they look like they're doing bits. Other than that, other than the lad that went from Newport to, was it Crawley? Was it Crawley you went to?
Yeah.
That looks like a decent signing. So they look strong. But yeah, I've not been really worrying about them.
What about you, Bruce?
No, I've not really paid a lot of attention, mate, if I'm honest.
Fair enough.
Swindon, I think, will be strong. Bradford usually look like they're going to be all right, don't they? And then they've got, they get the pressure of the big crowds when things aren't going quite so well. Interesting. Like I say, get the first sort of half dozen games and see what's going on. They say the first 10 games, don't they? Then you can get an idea of the season and how it's going to pan out a little bit.
Earlier we were talking about how do these podcasts come up with these crap predictions for the Football League season. This is exactly how. Because we don't have a clue, do we, really?
We don't. Dave, why have you put an angry face on Facebook? Dave Leister, what have we done to make you angry? I didn't know that. Have we besmirched somebody? Not again. Jack Moran says Colchester seem to be the basket case. They do seem to be the Scunthorpe in waiting. Their debts are piling up and have been for a few years. I don't know where they are in terms of state of play at the moment, but they certainly will have something coming to them at some point or other. That'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I'm just wonderful. Is there anything we've missed? Because we've knocked an hour on. I've got curtains to put up. What has everybody else got to do? Anything we've missed? Anything we want to talk about? Any questions from the listeners?
Hey, we're bang on an hour. That's good. That's good podding.
Bang on an hour. That's what we do. We're accurate and professional nowadays. On my personal hotspot. Oh, Dave says he caught his ear. Wife answered the phone, so I had to turn it down, which is why he's angry with us. Okay, fine, fair enough. That's what we've done wrong again. Oh, yeah. No. I don't know. I'm just feeling generally quite serene about it all. And massive congratulations to everyone at the club because the ship seems to be really steady, going really well. And I hope Liam Emerson has got a Italian 90s style goal cam in the net. If not, we riot. Because that's the only thing I want to see.
Are you on the train next weekend?
I think so.
Yeah, we're hoping to be still. I'm hoping that the strikes we can still get there. And the last time there were strikes, we got across the country okay. I'm just concerned. I'm waiting for LNER to confirm what time the last train out of King's Cross is. That's my only.
This is a conversation I've yet to have had with my wonderful wife. So I now have to have that conversation quite quickly before she downloads and listens to the podcast. So if this comes out on Wednesday, you know why. But I will then tell her that I would like to go to the football on Saturday. Please, thank you very much.
You are arranging a romantic. You are arranging her a romantic meal with Mrs. McMahon, though, aren't you? Yeah.
Why don't they go out? Nathan wanted to know what our thoughts on My Energy were. I think it's a brilliant young sponsorship. All rumours suggest they've certainly paid for it, it's interesting that we continue to keep it local, which is brilliant, very in keeping with the area, and it's an outward thing. It's sort of like it's suggesting a sponsor that is ethically and sustainably relevant to the current situations in the world. So it's only a good thing, isn't it? I don't know about you guys.
Yes,
no, I agree.
Cool. Good. Right. I think we're done. Let's not gild the lily too much. We need to get back into match fitness as well. So thank you all for coming on. Thank you for everyone who donated money to the podcast. That is really appreciated. It'll go into some merch. Bruce and Ian, I think, are putting together a kickabout, and we'll try and do it when it's not 38 degrees. So give us a couple of months to sort it so it's nice and cool. But Thank you, everybody. This time next week, you will have had your first dose of football league in a year. And how good does that sound? Bruce, a pleasure. Looking very trim.
Thank you, mate. I've sweated off about a stone while I've been sat in here. I didn't realise how hot it was today still. But yeah,
That's
thank
lovely.
you. I'll catch up with you for a pint next Saturday, hopefully.
Perfect. Mike, resplendent as ever. Thank you so much.
I'm not looking very trim, though.
No. You and me both.
Mate.
You and me both. Let's not gild the lily. You know, we need a beer in these hot summer days. It's yeah, you know, it's wonderful. It's still wonderful to see you, and I hope you can come on Saturday because Hannah had a ticket, unless someone has already nicked it.
They have. I've seen that because I did think about it.
Oh, okay, fine, fair enough. Right, thank you everyone so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll put this out and we'll continue to do this. We might have a look at rescheduling it during the weeks just to make it a bit easier for some of the panel to come on. I know Ian struggles to get on a Sunday, and it'd be good to get people on. But hey, because of, you know, Town putting it out and back in the Football League, Mike, me and you will be able to watch every game we wish to as long as we go from our house in France. Nod, wink,
via legal methods, of course.
Via legal methods. So if the club are doing it, they better not make it fucking hard to do. So there we go. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to do my usual very professional thing of trying to find something. Do we want the new theme again?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, let's get. There we go. Cool. See you all soon. Bye.
Cheers, bye.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
They've done it! They've done it! It's Maguire Drew! They've done it against this team!
Grimsby are heading back to the Football League.
Love it.